So in a different video, I talked about this Oupes Exodus 2400 power station, aka solar generator, but I think this thing really seriously kicks butt, and I think this is a excellent fit for the prepping community. Plus you can save several $100s on this right now, so I think this thing just deserves its own video. And no, I do not make a dime if you buy one of these or not. Again, just for the fact that you can save more than half off on this thing if you get this between May 8th and June 7th, I just want to bring this to the prepping community's attention. And here has been my experience with the X2400 so far. Just the other day, it was at 65% full, so it was close to being only half full of power. And I ended up plugging in an air purifier, a fan, the TV, and a lamp into it. And even though I had all four of those appliances running consistently, the Exodus 2400 still ran all of those appliances for 9 hours straight before it emptied out. And to top that off, this ran my old non-energy efficient refrigerator for over 18 hours straight before this finally ran out of power and I had to recharge it. Now, of course, if it was a grid down situation, I would not run my refrigerator for 18 hours straight on this thing. I would run it for a couple hours in the morning, run it for a couple hours in the afternoon, and then a couple hours in the evening before going to bed. But this thing is just an awesome 2400 watt power station, aka solar generator. That's what most of us call this because you recharge it via solar panels. Now with the Exodus 2400 running my refrigerator for about 18 hours straight, so obviously I can use this so I don't have to try to eat my food before it spoils in a grid down situation. But one of the huge things about this, I can use this to run my refrigerator and my freezer, which it has no problem doing, but I can use this to preserve and freeze food that I grow in a survival garden, but I can use this to preserve and freeze that food that I grow in the summertime so that I can eat it over the winter time. Again, my experience with this Exodus 2400 and the other Oupes solar generators that I've had, these things are just awesome. Now, right now, Oupes is doing a launch of this Exodus 2400. And right now, between May 8th and June 7th, I believe, you can get this for over 50% off. The normal price for this is almost $1,500. But if you use the link and the discount code that I'm going to give down below, you can get it for $675, I believe. Again, that is huge savings and over several $100s that you save. Now, here is how I would use the Exodus 2400 in a grid down situation or during a nationwide blackout or something like that. The first thing I would use it for would be to run my refrigerator to keep my food from spoiling and then also preserve and freeze any food that I grew myself. And then you may have insulin or other medications that you have to keep cold for your survival. Also, I would use this to run my chest freezer, which it does, no problem. Plus, I would use it to recharge my flashlights, and I would also use it to recharge my emergency and ham radios. And then you won't always be able to cook over a fire, so I would also use this to run my microwave and also my slow cooker, and just have alternate ways of cooking. And then on a hot, sticky summer night where you just can't sleep because it's just so darn hot, this thing will run this fan for hours and hours and hours. And then while we're talking about sleep, this will also run a CPAP machine if you rely on one. And this thing will also run a lamp with an LED bulb for probably days at a time. And then I would also use this to recharge my cordless tools if I could safely use them. And then I have a young son, so being able to recharge electronics where he could play some games would be nice also. And this thing will last me over 10 years, even if I'm using it on a daily basis. And Oupes offers a 5-year warranty with this thing, so you know it's not junk. Plus, I've got a lot of experience now with Oupes, and I know that company does not produce junk. And the Exodus 2400 has 4 AC outlets, so you can plug in things like TV sets, fans, etc. It also has 4 USB-A outlets, which a lot of times happens with electronics, and 2 USB-C outlets, which are pretty popular with cell phones now, plus 2 DD5521 outlets, and also a cigarette lighter outlet. And when I plugged this into a wall outlet to recharge it that way, it took about 1 1.5 hours to recharge it from 0 all the way back to fully charged. And like I said in the last video, I don't even know how long it took me to recharge it via solar panel because I plugged it into 2 of those solar panels, came back about 6 hours later, and it was fully recharged. And again, I will put the link and also the discount code down below so you can save, again, several $100s on this. And again, I really think that this is a really good fit for the prepping community. And besides having food and ways to purify water, I think any serious prepper will have this in their gear. So this is not my first Oupes brand solar generator. I've had them before, and every one that I have had has been well built and awesome. So if you already own an Oupes brand solar generator, why don't you comment down below with your experience with this company so we all can learn from each other. And in a grid down event, a simple scratch can get infected and lead to your death, or a simple case of the flu can turn into pneumonia and again lead to your death. So to see a whole bunch of videos where we use the weeds that grow around us to make medicines to combat simple ailments like that in a grid down situation, then click on the video that should be appearing on the screen just about now to learn what most other preppers don't know. Anyways, folks, this is enough internet for me today. I actually do got work I got to do around here. But folks, if you made it this far, hey, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I pray that you have a good night.